Hi guys, Righteous Rhema here, bringing you your dose of truth for the day, and that is this. Do not go for things. Do not reach for things more than you become for things. Do not go for things. Do not reach for things more than you become for things. There are some things that you have to become for. Meaning, there are some things you cannot get until you are able to be the kind of person that should have it. For example, like females who are prepubescent, pre-adolescent, their bodies are not able to have children. So let's say a child that is, doesn't have her menstrual cycle and she really wants a baby really bad. She can go for it. She can sleep around and with everybody in town. But until she becomes, she will never have that baby. Somebody may want to be a doctor. They may want to be a brain surgeon. They're like applying to all the hospitals in the land. And until they become an MD student, until they become a doctoral candidate for med school, they will not have it. There are some things you can just reach for, ask for. Some opportunities you'll be given just because you ask. You have not because you ask not. But there are certain things, especially things that are like long-term things, that you will never have. Not because you're not reaching for it, not because you're not praying for it, not because you're not begging for it, pleading for it, because you got to become for it. You got to become for it. You have to be a certain kind of person that can have it. And if you've been praying for something and you haven't got it yet, this is the time for you to ask God, what do I need to do to have this thing? Whether it's being married, some of you all been in a relationship with somebody for 7-8 years. He ain't proposed to you yet. It shows that he's not a husband and he don't see you as a wife. So you got to become something. Or if you're at a job and you've been in that job for 20 years, never got a raise, never got a promotion, never became lead, shift lead, never became a manager, never became a team leader. And it's like, because you've not become for it. You were there, you're available, you applied, but you have to be, some things you got to become for. And when you become, you will find, very interesting, you're going to find that things that you wanted will come to you. When you become, you're going to be amazed, astounded, and stunned that things that you've always wanted will come to you. Opportunities that you wanted will come to you. And I hear about this, but I hear people's celebrity stories, like comedians or actors or singers. I hear their stories, and they're talking about how they was on, Showtime at the Apollo, and they were on these, chicken circus and everything, doing a little bit that they could. And while they were practicing on these, smaller sets and smaller stages, they were developing their skills and they were becoming. So when they did get to a Showtime at the Apollo, when they did get to a Def Comedy Jam, they were ready. And so when they were seen on those bigger platforms, everyone was calling them saying, hey, can you come do a comedy skit? Hey, can you come and do this here? Hey, you do so-and-so hair. You go over here do my hair. It's like you first have to become. So don't just beg and cry and plead for things. Because the things you're begging and pleading for, if you were ready for it, you would have had it by now. I'm just being honest with you. If it was for you, and if you were ready for it, you would have it by now. But some of you all are going to beg and plead for opportunities that's going to make a fool out of you, because you just was like, you wanted it so bad. But I'm telling you all, while you're waiting for your big shot, just prepare. While you're waiting for your opportunity for you to, show your gift to the world, prepare. Because what's going to happen is they're going to reach out to you and you're not going to be ready for it. I was using photography example. So, I wanted to reach more clients, more corporate type, kind of going towards a corporate type, level, working with schools and businesses and whatnot. So this lady reached out to me and she said, hey, I got a bunch of seniors at my school and I'm going to put your name on a list of photographers that they can reach out to for photos. So I'm like, oh, it's so awesome, super excited opportunity. So I always wanted to be on a list of, so a lot of people can have access to me, a lot of people can see my name and my website, all the things. So they start reaching out to me. The high school seniors needed their senior heads So they're reaching out to me and they're like, hey, you got a studio? Hey, you got a studio? Hey, you got a studio? Get this backdrop. You get that 2020 graduation, you know, the staying the 20 with the numbers going down like this. Do you have a cap and gown? Do you have a stool? Do you have a? And I'm looking like, no. But my friend. So I you know, my first photographer mentor, he has a studio, and actually my second photographer mentor, he's one as well. But it's like I did not become a studio owner. I did not become a photographer that had a bunch of props and whatnot for graduates. So I ended up not working with a single one of those seniors. And I'm sure they reached out to all the other photographers on that list that became the kind of photographer that should work with seniors. And I could have met with them outside or whatever, but you know, I don't know if the weather was, I don't know if it was really cold at that time or something like that. So it was too cold to meet outside. But you know, most senior heads, you want like being like in a studio. And so I learned there, it's like, Missy, don't be praying and asking God for stuff, because when he did open the door for you to have it, you didn't even have what you needed. You didn't even have what you needed. And I felt so bad. So I was frustrated. The students were frustrated, reaching out to me like, what's going on? The mom reaching out, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, well, we'll see. Okay, so like what happened is you got to book my friend's studio, and then I'll meet you there. And you know, it was too complicated. It was too complicated. I'm looking around for studios to book and everything. And these are already high school seniors, so they already don't really, their parents don't really help. It was really the students reaching out to me. And it's like the students, they're like, I don't know how to book a studio. I don't know how to do this. I just need a dollar amount to tell my mom. You know what I'm saying? So I learned then, like, I don't need to be asking people for. And another corporate person reached out to me with this. Like, not that was a school, but a corporate person reached out to me asking for my invoice. This was like a few years ago. I was like, oh, I don't have invoices. I didn't have a website at this time, so I was like, they wanted something professional, so that when they turn their fees into their job, they can, you know, get a check for, let's say, check for the caterer, a check for the sound guy, a check for the entertainer, a check for the photographer. But they needed a bunch of invoices to turn in. But I didn't have an invoice. I was used to still texting people saying, they text me, hey, how much for photos? I would text them back, this much right here. They were asking me for how much my deposit was. I was like, this is the back of the day. I don't have deposits. Before I had a website. Oh, you remember, you see me your website, I can see your works. I'm like, well, I got a Facebook page, Facebook photography page. Do you think anybody in corporate is gonna work with me without a website, without an invoice, without a deposit? Send me your contract, send me your agreement. I'm like, I ain't got no contract. So I had to ask another photographer I knew for her contract, so I could make my own contract based off of her contract. I just wasn't ready, y'all. I just was not ready. So what I want, it will come to me. Once I get myself together, everything I want will be attracted to me. It will gravitate towards me. Because people are looking for you. They're looking for your gift. They're looking for what you have to offer. They're calling you. They're waiting on you. The dude is checking you out. He wants to date you. He's checking you out. The job is looking for you. The job is looking for somebody with your skill set. You know, the ministry wants you as a youth pastor. They're looking for you. They want you. The school's waiting for you to apply. But the problem is you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. So while you're waiting for this opportunity to become, I'm going to be a pastor, I'm going to be this and the third, work on who you are as a person so that you can be the kind of person that can sustain what you're asking for. I had I had like two little brothers in church, whatever. And they both want to be pastors. I said, well, I've been called to be a pastor. Miss, I've been called to be in the ministry. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I said, and they told me, you know, so I asked them like maybe a few weeks later, and I would take them to church. I would say, so, if they actually preach me the gospel right now, what would you say? Or preach me a sermon topic. I said, I'm going to pick a verse out. I want you to tell me a message. I asked on the spot, I was like, if you're ready to be a pastor, you know, not that you have to give a sermon on the spot if you're a pastor, just saying, you know, you got to have some type of sermons under your belt, right? And so I said, okay, here's a verse here. Now preach me from this verse. Teach me on this verse. Well, see, I ain't ready yet. And yeah, you do ministry. You are supposed to pray and, you know, sometimes fast. If you got to fast, pray, meditate, study, seek God. So I absolutely agree with that. I would never talk publicly without praying and, you know, studying the word first. But they're the kind of guys, the church they went to the kind of church where the pastors actually study their word. They kind of just, you know, preach, you know, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But they weren't the kind of, they didn't go to the kind of churches where you had to like study a whole bunch before you prepared a sermon. So I was like, you've been in church all your life, you want to be a pastor so bad. if God made you a pastor tomorrow, what would you preach on? And they didn't have a clue. So I was like, so why are you talking about you a prophet, you a pastor, you an apostle, all the things? Why don't you prepare yourself for what you want? Become the kind of person so that if they did want you to be a youth pastor first, you would have a lesson plan to teach the kids on. You would have something to talk about. If you would kind of be an assistant pastor in a week, would you have anything to say? So again, you all are called. You all are talented. You all are skilled. You all are gifted. You all do have a ministry in you, or you do have a business in you. You do have something in you to do for the earth and for God and for yourself and for your families. But you got to prepare yourself. You have to do the work. And I'm telling you, when you get on, it's a level you get on where everything comes to you. Right now, you're reaching up for things. Like at this level, you're reaching up for things like, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's a level you get in your development where everything can come to you easy. It just comes to you. It's a magnet. Because it's not going to go down to find you. See, right now you're on a low plane right now, right? The stuff that you want is up here. It's not coming down to meet you. It's not coming down to meet you. It's not, I promise you, it's not coming down. They may look down, oh, look who's up and coming. But they're not coming down for you. So you got to rise to the occasion. And once you're on this higher plane, this higher level, everything that you want is on that level. It'll come to you easy. The dates that you want, the men you want to date, the women that you want to date, opportunities that you want, the stages you want to be on, the churches you want to speak at, the clients that you want. When you get on that level, I'm telling you all, you are invisible. Until you get on that level, everything that you want, you're invisible to it. It don't even see you because you're not there. See, people are used to looking like straight ahead, looking around. But where you're at, you're below the radar. No one knows you're there because you're not developed yet. You don't see a seed in the ground. You don't see a baby in the womb. But once it comes up on their right level, everything, oh, who's that new girl? Oh, who is that? I ain't never seen him before. He's real funny. Who's that comedian? Comedians you seen building up their craft, like the funniest comedians on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. They've been doing that for years, but they were not on that level yet. When they hit that level, they get all kind of endorsements. People just, hey, endorse my products, endorse my product. Celebrities, wear my stuff. I'm seeing some of my stuff. Nobody knew they existed because they were not ready yet. When they got ready, all kind of contracts came their way. All kind of endorsements came their way. So I'm telling you all, get on that level. You don't have to chase, on that level, you don't have to chase nothing. You just got to shine. It's like your cab light comes on. You got a cab light that's on. They're like, oh, hey, the cab is ready. It's like the hot and fresh sound on the Krispy Kreme donuts. Oh, look, they're ready. Your light's going to come on when you become. And everything that you want and been praying for will come to you. Thank you guys for watching. Please share and subscribe to Righteous Rhema. Bye-bye.